Hey, everybody, welcome back to the ChatGTM podcast. It's Michael Beck, your host, coming to you live here from somewhere in Tampa, Florida. And joined with me, as almost always, is my business partner and co-host, Mr. Chad Horn, the master of finger painting. How you doing, Chad?
Great. Good to be home.
Yeah?
We get one of these rare breaks, that actually lasts a little while between travels. So
It's only because we're protesting because we travel too much and we decided not to go. But I am feeling FOMO already. Yeah. So
it'll pick up next week.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what we're grousing about right now, coming up next week, at the end of this, next week will be the quadrifecta of shows in Las Vegas. You got Shop Talk, you got the Pizza Expo, you got the Bar and Restaurant Expo, and you got the multi-unit franchise show. That's a lot of stuff to get to, but if you want to take one plane trip to go to a bunch of shows at one time, you have the opportunity to do that and kind of have a broad spectrum. But today we're not there. We just got back from the Restaurant Franchising Innovation Summit on Coronado Island in San Diego. That was awesome.
That one I could do again.
Yeah, I could too. I just like seeing all the military hardware, and it was probably the first time I've ever interviewed anybody hearing the rat-tat-tat-tat of machine guns and explosives in the background, because we were adjacent to the Navy SEALs training camp, and you literally heard bombs exploding and machine guns going off. It was rad. But anyways, we are here today, and we're having a new guest on the show, Mr. Carl Comeaux. I'm excited to have you on the show. And Carl, I'm going to pretend you're not in the green room now, and I'm magically just acknowledging your existence. It's weird. Like some of these things have green rooms where they slide you in. We don't, so we kind of talk for a while and go, oh, look who's here. But Carl, thanks for coming on the show for sure.
Yeah, good to
How
be
are
here.
you today?
Oh, I'm great, man. It's a beautiful day here in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I mean, it's like 70 degrees and beautiful blue skies, so no complaints here. Probably similar to Tampa, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm going to do some kayaking or paddle boarding this weekend. I'm looking down. I'm seeing a couple manatees putting by right now, which is great.
There you go. That's cool.
Yeah. Are you a fisherman?
No, but I have a wake boat, so we like to do the water sports, skiing and surfing and all that fun stuff. So we live on the lake, so it's
Might have to rope in the back to Blue, Chad. That'll come up later. All right, so let's do a little read-in, talk about Carl, and then we're going to jump into our interview with you. So, Carl, if I mess this up, please blame ChatGT. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so today with us today is Carl Comeaux, the CEO of Crust Pizza Co, a fast-growing brand that's redefining the neighborhood pizzeria experience. What started as a local concept has grown into a thriving franchise with dozens of locations and a bold vision to scale across the Southeast. But Carl's focus has never been just growth. It's been building something people actually feel. From the Chicago-inspired design to the family-first atmosphere, every detail is intentional. With over 20 years of experience and multiple successful franchise builds under his belt, Carl brings a rare mix of strategic clarity and hands-on leadership. He's known for developing strong teams, dialing in unit economics, and creating systems that scale without losing the soul of the brand. Today, we're diving into what really takes to grow a concept like this, the discipline, the mindset, and the lessons behind the momentum. Carl, welcome to the show.
Man, ChatGPT killed it. Damn.
Wow. Bam, nailed it. Look at that.
Wow, that's unbelievable. No pressure.
I blame it on delicious coffee. Anyways, Carl, thank you so much. This is a treat. Chad and I just, GTM is our vibe. We love to learn about all things go to market, whether it's a tech company or a restaurant brand. There's a lot of things that have to happen, right?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of things that have to happen. Yeah.
It's not easy.
No, it isn't. And the competition is serious, and you got to nail it on service, you got to nail it on flavors, you got to nail it on costs. It's wild. So first question out of the gate. So you scaled multiple franchise concepts. Crust feels a little different. What did you decide early on that you refused to compromise even as you grew?
Well, first is your team. You have to have the right team. Second is quality, the ingredients. It's easy to go with a cheap ingredient, but the customer is going to pick that up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And so really, having the right team. We're big in the EOS, so right person in the right seat, and so we're all about that. And then second is the quality of products that we deliver have to be premium, because we're a premium brand. So that's two things I'll never compromise on.
Were you self-taught EOS? Did you get an EOS implementer?
Self-taught, man. I became the implementer, baby. I learned it all. I read every book he wrote, and
all hail
Gino Wickman. Oh yeah, Gino, man. I went to his conference a few times. I drank the Kool-Aid, man. I dove in head first. Great, really good speaker. Yeah.
Wow. Chad, I know you're looking to pile in here.
Yeah, and so Carl, because you're a real entrepreneur, I mean, this wasn't your first business. And so, if I read right, you were just a guest, a fan of the brand. And so, as someone who knew business, knew kind of what horse you might want to back your next venture, take us to that moment. What was that like for you as someone who's been down the road before building a business, experiencing the brand and saying, yeah, I could do something?
Yeah, so I'm crazy, right? I'm like you said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've never been an employee since I was 14 year. Well, I was employed for my dad from 11 years old to 13 years old, and he didn't pay me a dime. And so that he would quit that job and then went straight into being self-employed from there. And I've been self-employed since, and I'm fixing to turn 40, so I'm getting old. But I was scaling. Yeah. Hey, it's all good.
Young people.
Anyway, yeah. So, like you said, I was a fan of Crust. They only had a few stores at the time, and I moved to the Woodlands, where their first location started, and fell in love with the concept. At the time, we were scaling another concept in the restaurant space. We were franchising it. And I told my wife, I said, I wonder if they're franchising this, because it felt like it definitely had potential. And come to find out, it did. And so a couple months later, I ended up meeting the founders of Crust, and we hit it off, and they were interested in scaling. And so I just started off as a friend to help them and a customer, help them understand what it's like to franchise a concept, and then and the rest is history from there.
The scaling thing is an interesting story, right? We look at brands that I won't name names because I think they're on better trends, but there's a company that makes some really great fajitas out there, right? And when they first started, there was a line out the door. The ingredients were delicious. I mean, that was it. And then year over year, they got more investors, more people came in, and the deliciousness factor dropped because you could tell they're trying to save money and source different ingredients, right?
Trying to make money. They're trying to make more money, right?
Yeah, but they're squeezing it out, but they're losing what's special about them. So how do you, in the pursuit of growth and scaling, maintain that thing that makes you special how do you do that?
So our slogan is the Crust Way, which is your neighborhood, your pizza, your place. We have to stay true on what those three things mean. And as long as we stay true to it, like your neighborhood, we want to be around all the housetops. We want to be, like you mentioned earlier, ChatGPT said, the local pizzeria. So that's who we are. Your pizza is, we want to win best of the best award in every town that we're in, and so that's the pizza, and so that means we have to have high quality. We can't skimp on the ingredients. And then your place is, we want to be a place that you enjoy being away from your home and creating memories with your friends and family, because 50% of our business is dine-in, and so we're not that Delco model where you just pick it up. Right. I mean, yeah, that's 50% of our business, but the other 50 is casually having a meal and sharing a pie, which there's not many cuisines that you can share with the table. Pizza's one of them. And so it's affordable and so forth. But to go back to your question, that's the reason why we're not selling to private equity. We're debt free. They're knocking down the door right now because they're like, hey, look, you're almost at 40 locations. This is perfect timing. Like they would love to pick up our brand and then in 5 years sell for a multiple of 3 to 5 what they bought it for.
Right.
But with that, I don't know many emerging brands that have gone private equity that have been successful on the other end. And so I want to get to 250. I don't want to just sell out and then see the brand go into a minefield. So nothing against private equity. I think it's great at certain times, but I think as an emerging brand, I think it's the dumbest thing a brand could do, to be honest.
Especially when you have a defined soul, like what really.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got culture, man. We got like we just had our first annual summit for Crust and brought every franchisee, every manager, and all our vendors in the room, and man, we all drank the Kool-Aid, man. We had, I mean, it was just dynamic. We did the first night, we did a crawfish boil, which a lot of those Texas people never had crawfish, so that was cool. The second night, we did a pub crawl. So I'm part of a Mardi Gras crew, and I'm the captain. Are you on the float? Dude, so we took a 100-passenger float behind an 18-wheeler. We gotta
get on this next year, Chad. Go ahead.
We had We had motorcycle police officers escorting us through town, jumping from pub to pub. Dude, our franchisees, they were like, where the hell are we? Are we going to get in trouble? Are we going to go to jail for doing this? I'm like, no, we're not going to jail. Like, we had a DJ mixing on the float, dog. I mean, it was the vibe was there.
Wow.
So we had such a good time, and it was good for us all to bring our minds together and connect. And the soul of Crust is so thick that we don't want to deteriorate that. We want to keep that rolling, and that's the only way we're going to grow to 250. I mean, the goal is we got to get to 100, because once you get to 100, the next 100 is going to be half the time, and then go from there. So.
Right. That's awesome.
Oh, you clearly have a passion for the brand, and I'm going to guess the industry. But where did that come from as an entrepreneur? Because that's not where you started, right?
Yeah, I started in fitness. I know. Well, I started in fitness. And so I went from something that no one wants to do. I mean, I exercise every day, but only like 8 to 10% of people exercise. 90% of people want to exercise, but they just don't. And so I was in an industry that no one wants to do it. You talk about, we had to spend $5,000 a month on marketing to convince people of these before and afters.
Did you have your own club?
Yeah, I have my own club.
Okay.
And you could look like that. And look, after doing it I did that from 15 years old to, until I was 28, and it was just too long. And so I had to retire from the fitness world. And then I got into cell phone repair. And like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I saw opportunities with that. Then that went into franchising. We could scale this. So then I've come from a family where we're cooks. We're all cooks, and so we love good cuisine. So then I got into the restaurant space. I will say through my journey, I've definitely found home. This is the vehicle that I believe I need to be in for the next 10 to 15 years until I retire. Yeah.
Beck, you guys have some things in common. Picking up here.
Yeah, I was with LA Fitness International for 8 years.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. There's moments where you're feeling I'm really going to help this person, then you realize another person, you sold them a 10-year PIF, and they're not going to go once. And so there's some things about fitness that I was really good at sales. When we had closeouts, some guys would do competitions against each other. I'd call the other club and know what their closeout number is going to be, and I'd beat their combined gross. So I was just that guy. It was fun.
Yeah. And look. I think what Planet Fitness and all these, the $10 a month thing is a brilliant idea. A lot of them are killing it and crushing it, because most people don't ever go, so the equipment stays in good condition.
It's like an app that just lives on your phone, but they don't cancel it because they feel guilty that they actually cancel the thing that they know they're not going to use, so it goes on forever.
They feel good about saying that I have a membership at a fitness place, right?
Yeah. Okay, so back to the pizza industry. You mentioned EOS, and you talked about putting the right people in the right roles. Let's talk about what a franchisee looks like, sounds like, that would be a great owner or market partner for your brand. Yeah, so we have two avatars. The first is the owner operator, the person that's coming from corporate America making 150 to 300,000 a year, that's been in oil and gas for 20 years, and they're sick and tired of being in oil and gas or whatever industry they're in, and they're wanting to become a business owner. And so that person has been very successful with our brand, where they open up one, but all of our franchisees, their vision is to open up multiple. With 40% of our franchisees right now are multi-unit franchisees. And so that's our first person we're looking for, is a person that's going to be an owner-operator in their first location, learn the A to Z, everything that you need to know to run a successful Crust. And then from there, they'll start building their bench with managers underneath them, so that way they could open up more locations. And then the second person is the investor that has a restaurant brand already. They're already successful. They have a management team. Yeah, they have a management team in place, and they're looking for a second brand. Let's say they're in Atlanta. They have 15 locations of another brand. They don't want to move outside of Atlanta, so then they jump on board with us as their second brand to do the same thing they did with their first brand. And so that's really the two different type of franchisees we're looking for right now. Got it. Chad?
Carl, what's some support your franchise?
Chad,
Say it
you're,
again.
you're cutting off a little bit. I
Sorry,
was trying to
I'll
message you
speak a
about
little
that.
louder.
Yeah, your gate's a little low.
What's something you do to support your franchisees that's a little unusual?
Something we do to support our franchisees that's a little unusual. I mean, we have monthly calls with them. I mean, I don't know if every franchise brand does this, but we go over their P&L with them, and then we go over their issues, and we talk about ways we can improve those issues to overcome them. That's one thing. I don't think many brands are doing a monthly call with their. I mean, I know a lot of brands are doing it in the first 90 days, but we do it continue after 90 days. We continue to support them monthly.
You mentioned also, and this might be part of the unusual bit, is you've reduced some costs by building proprietary systems, right?
Yes.
And you've developed your own POS.
That's
Yes.
different.
That has to translate to the cost or unit economics for the operators or for your partners. But tell us a little bit of why behind that. Build versus buy is that ongoing conversation. SaaS is a clear one. But what's the other reasons you do that?
Yeah, if we didn't have the experience that we have from building multiple point of sale systems, we would just stick to the buy. But since we have that magic power, we went to buy with Crust, and we learned that we're spoiled. We're used to being able to make changes when we want. We don't want to stay in line with 20 other brands with a cookie cutter POS that we have to eventually tailor to what we need. So the benefit to the franchisees and to the whole brand is custom features that will help the operation run smoother and be more efficient and effective to make more money. And so that's what it is, man. It's when building versus buying is you have the magic power to create a system that runs for your specific business, not anyone else's. Versus when you buy, you're buying something that's cookie cutter that's going to go out to so many different brands, and it almost has to work for all of them. But it really doesn't work for all of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and pizza's a complex monster compared to other things that you're ringing up on a POS,
Yeah.
right? You have
Yeah.
zones, you have quadrants or whatever. There's all kinds of different topping rules and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, there's pizza definitely makes it more difficult.
So if you're curating this technology package for your franchisees, how far does that go? Does that go into the infrastructure, advising them on Wi-Fi security as well, or is it
Yeah,
software
everything.
side? How do you look at it?
Everything. I mean, it's a tech stack, all cumulative, and we want it to be. The vision is where everything lives in this database, from loyalty to rewards to POS to app, customer, franchise app for the dashboard to make sure that they know the optics they need to be able to make the decisions they need to make on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. HR, literally inventory, even the franchise. So we built this round, we built the franchise CRM first. And so the full process of franchising from sales all the way to ongoing support, that's all custom build. And so we did that first, but now we're doing the customer facing build. And yeah, we're fixing to release phase 1 to the whole brand. We finally stabilized it with one store, a corporate location, which we always do everything corporate first. And then we send it out to the rest of the brand. But yeah, this next year we'll be launching and all 40 stores will be on. So it's exciting.
Did you mention there are other systems you guys are putting together as well? I think you said loyalty or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So everything I mentioned is all going to be custom. The only thing that's not custom will be Olo. We are working with them for third-party delivery, and so integrating with their systems, which they've been a good partner so far.
Thinking about that, part of the reason you build proprietary systems is to pass those, reduce costs onto your operators. But think about unit economics and how it can make or break a franchise. What's one lever you think most operators overlook? And that's the biggest impact on profitability when you look at your franchisees or the other businesses you've been in.
I mean, for restaurants, it's prime cost. I mean, it's cost of goods. And so if you're not managing your inventory and you're not managing your schedule, then you're not making money in restaurants. I mean, the margins are so slim anyway. So if you're not managing those two things, then you're not making money.
Yeah. In the system you created, I imagine there's a forecasting component looking at maybe a 6 week average or that kind of thing.
And I mean, to your point, like ChatGPT, I mean, we're I mean, half of our systems are being built with AI engines right now.
It goes so fast too.
And dude, it's unbelievable how fast and how accurate it is. It's insane what it can accomplish. So right now we hire a consultant to help us implement AI, and AI is going to be forecasting everything, the inventory, from whenever a manager needs to order, it's already going to have the order in the in the back end ready for them. All they have to do is hit submit, maybe make a couple of tweaks. It's going to go straight to our food vendor, and then they're going to fulfill it. So, labor, it's going to know exactly what shifts are busier than others. It's going to know exactly how many people it needs to. I mean, all this stuff AI is going to be driving all of it, man.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It used to be a bigger lift for you had a software company that only could do this kind of magic, and it seems that these tools have democratized access. Not only that, but instead of going, you can build your calendar, it's already done for you, and then the dashboards have changed because it's not. What is it trying to tell me? It's what you need to do. You're talking about prescriptive.
It's telling you what
that, right?
Telling you what you need to do exactly. Yeah. So it makes the GM's job much easier because they just have to ask the right questions, or they don't even have to ask the right questions. They just need to click the button and okay, what should my schedule look like this week? Oh, it's this, and then okay, hit send, and then it sends it out to all their employees.
And that's going to an app, I imagine, or something.
Yeah. So we have a team. We call it our team app. It's an app for all employees, which has their schedule on there. It has communications. It has their Crust Pizza University, so their educational.
Little LMS in there?
Yeah, LMS in there. So it has all that.
Nice.
Carl, I read that you were obsessed with unit economics. I don't know if that's accurate, but I'm curious if it is. Is there a dark side to that you have to intentionally keep in check?
Yeah, there's definitely a dark side because you could become obsessed too much about it, right? But I'm big in cause and effect. It's like, okay, like I did a P&L comparison session at the summit, and I tried to dummy it down and make it where it was fun, interactive, but man, I could get so deep with it. I have to be careful because I'm very analytical. And so I made it fun and everyone got a lot out of it. So that's good. I achieved my outcome. But I think of every number as a story. And I know a lot of people don't think of it that way. I'm like, that number tells a story. And that number is either good or bad because of an activity that happened, either good or bad.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at numbers and AUVs and I'm very analytical.
It's always felt when you look at some organizations that there's almost an adversarial relationship between the franchisor and the franchisee. The big brother's looking, and they're there for the wrong reasons. But then if the relationship's strong, it's that company's looking out for us, and you're meeting with your franchisees, and you're helping them, coach them through the data to tell that story to be able to get them to better places. Why do you think some organizations suffer from that friction? Because it doesn't sound like you have that.
Yeah. What we did in the beginning, we were on two different islands, and the thing is that when you're building, it's easy for corporate to be just building and putting their head down and growing, and then to forget about their franchisees. Like, it happens. But what we did to bring that together a couple years ago was we built our Franchise Advisory Council, which is a group of franchisees where we could work with them on what we're working on. So that way they can then communicate they would have subcommittees of franchisees that they would talk to about what we're doing, and then also get feedback from them. And then that made us unified as one team. So that helped. But then also, like the annual summit we had to put everybody in the same room, it was great to, doing those networking events is important to keep everybody on the same island. Because if you don't do that, to your point, I mean, if you have that friction and you have Batman versus Superman happening, you're not going to achieve anything. It's just you're going to literally be hitting a dead end.
Yeah, well, there's no trust, there's no love, right?
No trust, no love, and yeah.
What's one of the? You already knew the industry, but I'm curious. What's one of the surprises about being in the
What's a surprise in the pizza business? Probably my biggest surprise in the pizza business is how it brings people together. Pizza, man, more than any cuisine, it brings friends together, families, and it's cheap overall. Like overall, you could have a family of five that walks out with a couple large pizzas for $30. You can't do that with many places you go eat these days.
Thinking about something you mentioned earlier, and you mentioned a little bit about giving back, right? And as part of your business model, not an afterthought. How has that shaped your culture and your brand? How do you look at the world like that?
It's big. You have to be working towards something that's bigger than yourself, and that's what it's all about. I mean, it's when you have a purpose that's bigger than yourself, you're going to move mountains that you'll never move if it's just for yourself.
Yeah.
And so that's a big part of our DNA is giving back on a local level, but then also on a national level. We're all about giving. The more I tell the franchisees, I said, the more you give, the more you receive. And so let's keep on giving, because the more you give, the more you can receive.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that if we could shine a spotlight on any organizations or things that
St.
you
Jude's,
support?
St. Jude's, man, we love St. Jude's, and so we love St. Jude's. It's one of the best organizations. I have a firsthand experience with it with my son going through cancer, and so it was cool. He got to speak at our annual summit, and he's cancer free now, thank God. But he got it at 6. He ended up fighting it for 3 years. Ended up getting rid of it at 9.5. We still go annually for checkups. He stood up there like a boss and gave his speech on how St. Jude's changed his life and his family's life. It was just incredible. We've raised money for them, and we're going to continue doing so. No Kid Hunger is another one that we've partnered with for kids. We're all about the kids, man. We want to make sure these kids could have a better life, that either have cancer or don't have a meal to eat. We want to make sure that we could impact the next generation and make sure that they have the tools and resources they need to win.
Yeah, food scarcity shouldn't be a thing in this country.
No, man. No, not at all.
What does your son want to do when he grows up?
Huh? He wants to be just like his dad.
Ha ha!
And what's cool is I have identical twins, so they're identical. So
Really?
they just turned 12. So yeah, man, it's incredible. Like to have boys and then have 2 of them. It's great.
Do they have that odd bit of telepathy you hear about twins?
What's that?
Do they have odd bit of telepathy? Like,
yeah.
Oh
yeah. Oh no, they definitely have that. They think the same things. So as they're talking, they're usually thinking about the same things.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's so cool.
But it's cool. It's super cool.
They want to ride motorcycles like you too?
Yeah. So we have dirt bikes. So we go every 2 or 3 months, and we go up north, and we take the bikes and we hit the trails. And so yeah, we're big. They can't wait to have their own street motorcycle. I'm a Harley guy, so of course they want the cruisers whenever they get of age.
Boy? What do you got out there?
No, I have a Road Glide.
Okay.
I have a big boy, man. I love it. So when I go ride, I go for at least 1,000 miles within 2.5 days.
Wow.
So we don't, 3 days, because usually the first 400 or 500 miles is usually get to the hills and the mountains, and then from there, then you're probably only doing about 250 miles because it's all curvy up and down. It's like a roller coaster ride. And so I love the adrenaline, and I love it's like meditation, because you can't think of anything else other than that road that those wheels are on.
Or you're rocking a 360 cam and you have the stickless thing while following you down the road.
No. I don't. All that tech is gone, brother. It's just me. It's just me and Phil Collins and the road, man. And we just jam.
Phil's with you.
Yeah. Phil's with me, man.
That is
awesome. I love Phil. Phil, yeah. We hit it.
So thinking about your golden number 250, right? Looking ahead to that, what has to be true internally for that vision to actually work out, not just look good on paper?
Yeah.
What do you have to do to really execute?
So we have to find the right franchisees. I mean, that's number one. We have to have the right people on the bus. And so that's something that we've created multiple surveys, and we created a sales process where we're vetting these new investors very hard to make sure we have the right ones. If we accidentally pick the wrong one, then we try to get them off the bus as soon as possible. So we have processes and procedures in place. If we find, oh crap, we made a bad decision, that's the fastest way, because they're going to drive your AUVs up, which is then going to drive more interest, more leads, more franchisees, and so forth. And so that's it. We have the right team. We have the right onboarding team. We have the right training team. Now it's just a matter of finding the right investors. And so that's what. Yeah. What's that?
follow-up question to that. What markets are you opening up?
Okay, so we just identified 50 new territories in the Southeast.
Wow.
That we want to expand into, from Texas to Florida, up the Carolinas, across Tennessee, Arkansas. And so we found 50 for sure. We were even talking to a multi-unit franchisee in Colorado right now, in Denver. And so we're most likely going to do at least 5 to start, and then we're going to grow from there. But I love Colorado. I'm a big skier too. So we just got back from the mountains 2 weeks ago, and the snow was terrible, and then it dumped 50.
I heard that. They didn't get anything this year.
Dude, it was crickets this year.
Yeah.
And then we got there on a Wednesday 2 weeks ago. Thursday we skied, and it was heavy. And then Friday it snowed 15 inches, bro. 15 inches. So we had the best snow Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Unpacked,
so it was great.
Trails,
yeah, dude, it was wonderful. So yeah, anyway, Denver area, definitely the demographics there are insane. The competition is minimal. And so I think that, I mean, after looking at what we've done in Houston, I know we could do that in Denver too. So we're having conversations right now, and we're getting close to the finish line. So it's exciting.
It would be a bummer if you had to base camp a vacation home there while that all worked out. I know.
Yeah, like what a great tax write-off, right? Yeah. No, absolutely.
So our industry likes to categorize restaurants by service: fast food, full service, counter service. You guys are different. You order at the counter, right? And then sit down, bring the food on a plate. How do you think about your category, and is it a good category right now?
Yeah, I love our category. It's not fast casual. It's not full service. It's limited service, which is the buzzword right now. So like you said, it's you order at the counter, you get your drink, you sit down, but we're going to serve you real plate. We're going to serve you. So if you need a refill, we'll get you a refill so you don't have to slide out the booth. When you leave, we're going to pick up all your plates and forks and cups and all that. So we're not hollering your name. Hey, Chad, your order's ready. You know, we don't do none of that. We bring you your food on real plates, real silverware. And so the service is higher than what you're going to get in the fast casual, but it's not as high as what you would get in the full service. But we also don't have the pain of what it takes to run a full service with actual waiters and waitress. Right. And so I think our space is great. Most of our guests will spend about an hour during their dining experience from order to leave. And so yeah, it's good table turns, and like I mentioned earlier, 50% of our businesses take out and to go and 3PD, and so but 50% is still dine in, and so that's a strong part of our
question. Just a little self-serving. Chad and I were just in Venice Beach a couple of weeks ago with a company called Coco Robotics. They launched delivery robots, right? They are automatic. They show up at the restaurant. You just drop the food in, it lets off, and it goes and waits patiently outside for the guest to open it and pull their box out. How do you guys feel, or how do you feel about these new technologies that might, alleviate some of the third-party
burden? Bring it on, baby. Okay. I'm all about it. I mean, I can't wait until drones could pick up orders and bring it to people's doorsteps. I can't wait for that to happen. I mean, that's going to be amazing. I think that's, definitely. I mean, even these automated cars that are even bringing meals or bringing food to people's homes. I think that's incredible. Where the trunk pops open and then you get your food. I'm like your order's here, and then the trunk opens up and you grab. I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, the Coco folks they team up with movie studios for different launches, and one of the cool things is they had Tom Hardy doing his voice for Venom, and they wrapped all the Cocos in Venom wraps.
Oh, that's cool.
And when the food came to the door, the thing opened and said, "Get your food before I eat it." And it was Tom Hardy saying that. Which
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, it's different experiences.
Yeah.
So
love that.
Well, I mean, we got to land the plane here in a minute.
Yeah.
But restaurants are so darn competitive, and there's so many out there, and obviously you have to have good food to stay in the game. You'd think. I'd argue that at some of the other restaurants at scale. But how do you differentiate yourself? Right? Yes, your food is going to stick out, but what else are you doing as far as training? Is it that experience when they come in the restaurant? Because from what you're telling me, there's something that's happening inside that's a people experience that keeps it human, keeps it warm. You're not shouting across the room. What are some of those things that you teach and coach inside of those brands? Or
we hire, so they have to hire people that believe in our values, and so that way the customer could have a good experience. We start with making sure. We call it the Rosewood touch. So we want to make sure that our employees are happy. And then if the employees are happy and trained well, then it's going to create a good experience for the guests. A lot of brands are focused so much on guest experience, and they totally forget about the people that are supposed to give the guest experience, which is the people that are working, these shifts. And so our focus is different. Our focus is on making sure that the teams, our employees, are happy and that they're being trained, and we have a roadmap for them. I mean, we have every employee knows that, hey, they could start off as a cashier and they could become a general manager. They could go from making $8 an hour to making $70,000 a year,
or path
and then
to
they
ownership one day, right?
Well, yeah. Well, then the path to, okay, you're a general manager and you're successful. Yeah. Now you can become a district manager. Okay, now you could save $100,000 and do an SBA and be your own franchisee one day. So we paint that picture real clear on, you could go from $8 an hour to making six figures per year. And so that's, and be a multi-unit franchisee making crazy seven figures. And so that's the vision that we paint.
Awesome.
And if we could take care of the teams and we could grow them, then the customers can be happy. And kind of going back to your question is the Crust way, your neighborhood. So we want to be in your neighborhood around all the house stops to make it convenient and easy for you to dine in or pick up from us. We want to be connected to your local grocery anchored center. Second, your pizza. We want to have incredible pizza. And we don't just offer pizza. We have pasta, salads. Our menu is about 35 items. So it's not huge, not small, but it has something for everyone. And then the last is your place. We want it to be your place. Home away from home type of deal. And if we could accomplish those three things, then and we could be the best pizza in your community, then we're going to win. And community, going back to your neighborhood, community is a big part of it. So we give back. We don't turn anybody down. And the franchisees that we sign up have to be community focused too. Because if they're not, and they turn away everybody, then they're not the right fit for Crust.
They're ambassadors, right? They're
they have to. Yeah, brand. I call them, you're the Crust mayor in your town. And so if you're not building those relationships and you're not building that community, then you will not win. I mean, it's just is that simple. You're not going to win. And so as long as we stay true to our values, Mike and Chad, then we're going to be good. Which stands for commitment, for C, for every letter in Crust has a word. So commitment for giving back to the community that we're in, or for respect, to respect each other. U for unity, we have to do it as a team. S for service, we want to create those magic moments at the table. And then T for thankfulness, that we're thankful and grateful for the opportunity we get to serve.
Love it. Chad, one more before we go into rapid fire mode.
Carl, think of the location you'd be most likely to go to. You walk in unexpectedly for lunch. What's that experience like for you and for your staff?
As a customer?
Yeah.
Yeah, experiences. I walk in, I'm hearing Jack Johnson radio. I smell the fragrance of pizzas cooking. I hear guests laughing and having fun. I see smiles on our runners' faces and our cashiers greeting me. Welcome to Crust. How are you doing today? I'm placing my order. They let me know where I need to go to get my drink. And
they recognize you though, right?
Oh, I would hope so. I would hope they would recognize me.
Carl.
Yeah. I'm thinking of as a customer, but yeah, as me, they're definitely, they're probably, on a tightrope, making sure everything's perfect if I walk in. But yeah, man, it's and we have a good relationship. Most franchisees and managers, I know them by their face, so it's good.
Love it. All right, here we go. Ready for some rapid fire fun?
Let's go. I love rapid fire. I love impromptu. Let's go.
Here we go. First job ever. And what did it teach you that you still use today?
Working for my dad, working behind a weed eater. And what I learned is he was cheap. So, that's why I quit.
I feel like I'm getting pelted with little pebbles behind a weed eater as I'm hearing that.
But look, he was a dairy farmer, so he had to milk cows for free. That was just part of the family business, right? So he thought the same thing for me. So I can't blame him for it. But hey, it taught me hard work, because weed eating is no fun, man. That sucks. Show me that I don't want to do manual labor for the rest of my life.
Yeah, nothing gives you a work ethic like living on a farm. Absolutely. Yeah. Go-to pizza order, not overthinking. What are you getting every time?
Carl's King, which is our supreme pizza, and the garlic cheese bread, which is dipped in our homemade ranch dressing. Yeah, can't go wrong with those two.
That's an occupational hazard. I always get hungry on these things, but it's lunchtime. So Let's see. One business myth you wish more people would stop believing.
Say it one more time.
One business myth you wish more people would stop believing.
That business is passive and you could just get mailbox money. That's bullshit.
It's like, if you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams is full of crap.
Yeah, no, man, that crap don't happen. Nothing's passive in this life. Now, AI is going to help make things easier, but it's not it still won't be passive.
AI, though, is just making even more noise, though. So everybody has this now this giant megaphone. So that's a whole interesting thing. How do you stand out when everybody's standing out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Morning routine, chaos or coffee?
So I have my morning routine, and we could go through that if you want. But my coffee is my cold plunge. So I cold plunge every morning. I do sauna. I have my full workout routine and yoga. So I have about a 2-hour routine I do every morning.
Wow.
But it ends with cold. I usually get up between 6 and 6:30. Kids are out the house at 7. And then then from 7 to 9, I'm doing my morning routine.
Nice. Favorite way to spend a rare day off?
On the boat with my kids and wife.
If you weren't in the pizza and franchise world, what would you be doing?
What would I be doing? Man, if I wasn't in this world, I'd probably be a consultant helping others scale their concept.
All right. And last one. One word your team would use to describe you, and one word you would use to describe yourself.
A team would say, let's go. He's rock solid, I would think. And then as far as one word to describe myself, I'm humble.
I'll take that. I like that. That's a great way to close it out. Carl, this has been awesome. Love your energy.
Yeah.
Love your story. Thankful for your son. Love that you give back to the community. I think there's a lot of stuff good going on there. And I think if somebody were looking at doing a franchise opportunity to work with somebody that we're in a people business, and looking at that and just getting to know you very short, in this short amount of time, is how couldn't we root for you?
I appreciate that.
You got good stuff going on. Yeah. So thinking about that, there's a multi-unit franchise show coming up in Vegas next week. I don't know if you're going to be there sharing your franchise story, but where's the next place that somebody can meet you, shake your hand, talk about this opportunity?
I'm going to the Restaurant Leadership Conference in Scottsdale.
RLC. Yeah.
So I'll be at RLC.
Yep.
I always go to this upcoming week, and like you mentioned, I have the Pizza Expo and the bar conference and the multi-unit, and I do that every year. This year I'm taking a break. So not going.
Here too.
Not going this year.
There's too many shows.
So many, man. Look, I gotta be a little bit picky these days.
Yeah, and then they're not getting any cheaper either.
No.
Well, and then last part, Carl, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, talk to you about it, look up your company, what's the best way to get it? What's your website?
Yeah, crustfranchise.com. They could go there, complete the submission form, and then we'll be in touch.
And are you a LinkedIn dude? If somebody wants to reach out to you personally, best way to get you?
Yeah, LinkedIn is a great place to connect with me. Yeah.
Fantastic. Chad, anything before we wrap up for today?
I echo your sentiments, Bex. This has been awesome. Great meeting you, Carl. Loved everything you had to share.
Yeah. Carl,
Thanks,
thank you so
fellas.
much for being on the show. It was a genuine pleasure. For everybody else out there, thank you for being part of our audience and investing time with us. And thank you for letting us be part of your community. And as always, random acts of kindness. I think Carl just exhibited on the show, and also one of the reasons we're here together. But sprinkle that stuff everywhere. You never know whose day you're going to make better. I listen to that voice in my head. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But the moment the voice tells me I hand somebody a buck, I'll always open a door. But just be nice. It just takes a second. And that's what changes the world.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Carl. We'll see you guys next time. And thanks for tuning in.